Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 29th of September. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, yesterday on the euro we consolidated pretty much inside, mostly an inside day on the previous day. It's definitely in the way of driving the news to drive the euro at the moment, and this was reflected in the price action. There's very little little happening. Now, today, well, we've got very little to drive the euro again. As such, final US GDP at 130, maybe a little bit of volatility around 130. Otherwise, again, we just left down to technicals. I was just looking at the average true range. It's dropped down to 64 pips. It's pretty small, really, overall. So very little volatility. Which makes it not a great day trading currency at the moment. So I've been steering mostly clear of it, but the occasional trade we've had on it. But in the main, it's trying to look for the bigger time frames, bigger moves. But it doesn't bode too well for today either. Looking at the 60-minute, well, we haven't quite got down to the daily pivot. If it had, I'd be looking in this pattern it's done here with a higher low, etc. I would be looking for the high side towards the daily R1. It may be that we was to get something like that, but when you look 27 pips, 41, 14 pips possibly out of the move. So it on an hourly chart, it really makes it look a bit of a waste of time almost, relatively. Bearing in mind you're going to be risking 10 or 12 to make 14. Okay, you could risk a little less, I guess, but it's not a good move at the moment. That's the main point. Now the pound has had a bit more volatility. It's in a very tight looking channel running up in the 4 hourlies here, and that pretty much sums things up. One up, one down, one up, one down almost. A couple of up, two down. It's not in a solid trend, but there is some sort of trend going on there now. A bit clearer, up at higher lows-ish, double bottoms, higher highs, double tops. It was struggling yesterday at the 130, 31 sort of area. It eventually managed to break through that, and well, now it's pushing back towards that again, and we've hit the daily pivot now, so possibly we could see a continuation to the upside. Okay, that's the pound, dollar, yen. Well, the yen, looking at this yesterday, had a couple of attempts of, had an attempt of a short and an add-in, and it works for a little while, but it's looking like it's switching sides at the moment, and seeing a bit of a rally. So the shorts are off for now. I was looking for shorting into the opportunities. I mean, you can see yesterday it sold off, but then later afternoon through the Asian session, it's been rallying. So shorts are off for now. Maybe, he says. Looking at what's going on here, there's a bit of a divergence over the highs, but I think overall it's a safer bet to the upside. But we'll see. There may be opportunities later, but it has had a good session. Whenever it does this, though, it tends to give it back quite quickly, and that's the only reason I'm looking at the potential, having second thoughts over it. But we'll see, as I say, as it rolls through the morning. Aussie dollar, to a certain extent, this morning it's gained from the oil price through yesterday, and I should say, and it's probably had a bit of a follow-on through the Asian session, but it's rolling at the moment, and we're seeing some downside. It's just run back into the trend line that I drew across the top there. Perhaps I should have removed it, but it is having quite a reaction to that. It's pulled back quite a long way, and it's not looking overly bullish at the moment. It's already hit the R1 daily pivot. It may find some support again off this sort of 50 area. I say 50 area because it's broken through it a few times and then pulled back in. So we'll see how that runs. But it's I'm a bit neutral on it at the moment. I would become more negative on it if it broke the trend that was sitting there. But at the moment, it's really still on the balls have it effectively. It's more bullish than bearish with the higher lows that are going in there, but not massively convincing at times. And finally, Canadian dollar. And the Canadian dollar did well yesterday following the OPEC agreement to reduce output. Starting from November, so it's a while off yet. There could be some arguments that's coming through it, but had quite a turn on it, and it's obviously sold off quite a long way. Now, whether anything else will come out of that today, any further comments, I don't know. We'll see. But it may be setting itself up for a bit of a continuation. If you look at oil, it pushed up quite well yesterday. It's consolidating around this 47 area, and there is still realization, of course, there are huge stocks in the US still, and well, there are huge stocks everywhere at the moment, and the deal's not until November, so it may see oil slip back for a short while. But I think the outlook is pretty positive for it. As said on a weekly update, I'm sort of quite bullish on oil and quite bearish on the Canadian dollar. I say bearish on it, bearish on the US stroke Canadian dollar. So, okay, so it's broken its rising channel just about on the dailies there, not managed to hold there. It's just run back to the daily 50 and had a bounce at the moment. That's what we're seeing as the price consolidates on oil. It's consolidating with the Canadian dollar. There is the possibility it could run up to the daily pivot. It's quite a track to do. Maybe too much for it, we'll see. But as I say, when the realization sits in that it's actually not until November, maybe even before then, it may be stemmed a little bit. We may see this start moving, but it could be that it never does it if it breaks the trend on the lower side. It's quite a range there. Sorry, it's badly drawn, but there'll be a trend line across here, across these lows here somewhere. If I can draw it, there we go. If it starts breaking down through that, well, certainly the daily S1 would be a target back towards that monthly pivot, and maybe beyond. Okay, that's pretty much it. As I say, news-wise today, which will affect most of the markets here, we have got Yellen speaking later on 9 p.m. this evening, due to speak at a Minority Bankers Forum. That'll be massive. It's worth waiting up until 9 p.m. Not okay. Nothing during the day though. So have a great day. Bye for now.